Hi guys, this is Jill. I'm just at the ranch today and I wanted to come to you and speak to you about, again, to the parents of those who are struggling with their kids that may be searching for identity right now. You know, I think truly we're all searching for identity. There's not one of us that hasn't struggled with knowing who we are as a person, what we're supposed to do, maybe what our ministry is, maybe just our life's purpose. And I just wanted to share with you some thoughts that I believe the Father gave me to you moms out there. I've told you that I am a mom of stepkids, of biological kids. I have one biological child, and also of adopted kids. I adopted 2 teenage girls, and they're all grown now, and I have grandkids, and I have great grandkids even. My husband he's 19 years older than me. We've been married 30 years. But in this time, I've got to experience a lot of being a mom, and being a mom, and being a stepmom, and being an adoptive mom, and being a grandmother. And as through the years, it's changed. When I was really young and wasn't really ready to be a grandmother so quickly, I wasn't that great at it. I'll just be truthful. It was hard on me. I didn't understand all of it and the depth of it as a younger person. And it really took me getting older and experiencing motherhood for myself and experiencing life that I learned how to be a good grandmother. And really just in the last few years have I felt like a grandmother, but I really do now. Anyway, being a grandmother is like the coolest thing ever. And if you're not one yet, just wait. I don't know how to explain it completely, but it's like being a mom on steroids. It's just different. You're older, you have more patience, you look at things differently, and the love you have for these grandkids is just like crazy. And so in that is what I want to share with you today. As you know, I have a child that is in the LGBTQ community and struggling with his identity. But every kid that I've ever had in my household, every person has struggled with their identity. So it's not something that is only directed toward that community, but it's toward us as human beings. And I have 2 little grandchildren right now, and they're grands because they are from my adopted daughter. And I have more. I have grandchildren. I have great-grandchildren. But these 2 they live right on my property. They're close. I get to see them almost every day, and they're just so involved in my life. And I'm absolutely crazy about them. So, Mama has days that she takes them places and does things. So that's what I was doing yesterday. It's been really hot here in East Texas. It is so hot. And so we decided we didn't want to be outside. We wanted to do something inside in the air conditioning. So there's a place that they like to go, a play place. And so that's what they asked me to go to. And one of them's 5 and one of them's 3.5, to give you the kind of think about their ages. They're toddlers. And yesterday, as I took them out, the Father really spoke to me about some things about motherhood and about identity and about our jobs and how we help our kids find their identity and find their place in life and to learn what they should and shouldn't do, and that it's our job to direct them in the right direction no matter what age they are. And so we go into this place, and it was a day that, because it was so hot, there's a bunch of kids. So it was a bunch of toddlers. I mean, just toddlers everywhere. And oh, they were so cute. I absolutely love to watch kids. I love to see how they interact, how they play, how they think. I love to talk to them. You know, they're just the perfect picture of God's love for us and how He must look at us, I think. So I was there, I was watching the kids, and at first the kids were like kind of overwhelmed, my grandbabies, by so many kids. But then they just got in there and started playing. And there were some of the cutest little kids, and I watched how they interacted and how they giggle about little things and laugh over little things and want to do things over and over and over again. And for some reason, little kids are always attracted to me. And so this was like a daycare there or something. And so there was, some workers there watching them. And the little kids would come to me and ask me to help them do things. I would hold their hand as they went down a slide, or help them with something, or hand them something. And it was so sweet to do that. And I just watched their development, how they're learning and growing. And, I thought about us and how, as mothers, it's our job to watch our children learn and grow and become, but it's also our job to direct them. And I have to, with Sissy and Bubby, that's what I call them, my babies, grandbabies, they are brother and sister, and they fight and they argue, and sometimes they don't get along. And so I'm always trying to direct them in how to treat one another and how to treat others. And I was doing that yesterday. They would get mad at each other, and one would want to hit the other one, or, and I talk about, hey, we don't do that, and, I started telling them how important they are to each other. I said, look, y'all are brother and sister. You love each other. And I said, Bubba, you're the boy, you're the man, and your job is to take care of Sissy. Your job is to look after her. You're a gentleman. You're supposed to take care of her and watch after her. And I said, Sissy, you're supposed to help take care of him. You're supposed to help him with things he needs, and to be there for him when he needs you. And at those ages, I already have begun to speak into their lives about their roles and their identities. And I'm trying to show them that God created us certain ways, that naturally we are to be. The man is to be the protector, the provider, the one that watches over. When we fall down, they pick us up, and the woman is to be the nurturer, the carer, the one who fixes the meal and cleans the home. And it doesn't mean that these roles can't be shared. Of course they can. But that is the way that we are designed as human beings to be. And we have to speak that into our children at a very young age. At the very beginning, show them what it is to be that. And I told Bubba, I said, you are a superhero. You're watching out for people that are not being taken care of, and you're going to help them. I said, you're supposed to look and see how you can be a helper and be a superhero to people. And, that was on his level. He could understand being a superhero. And so he was going around looking to see how he could help. And he would help his sister when she fell down and all these things. And, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a boy being a boy and a girl being a boy. A girl being a girl. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with those natural roles that were given to us at the beginning. And the world has made us think that there's something wrong with that, but it's not. But we have to, as mothers, begin to speak that into our kids' lives at the very beginning. They need to know who they are naturally, and who they are as God works in them and builds on them and creates in them who they are. It doesn't mean that a boy can't like some girl things, and a girl can't like some boy things. It doesn't mean that they can't play sports if they're a girl, or if they're a boy they can't cook or sew. What that means is that you have a God-given responsibility and a God-given direction for your life. And when you get it out of alignment, then that's when there's so much struggle. And that's when there's so many problems. It's not showing love for your child, but it is showing the ultimate love for your child, because you're showing them how to live, how to survive, how to be who they're created to be. And we have to start as toddlers, as littles. We have to begin. But I looked around at those kids, and they were all so innocent and cute and different. And one of the issues that happened, the kids were in a ball pit, like a glow thing in a dark room. And I was watching, I was standing there, and I was trying to keep an eye on Bubba and trying to keep an eye on Sissy at the same time, one at one direction, one the other. And all of a sudden I see out of the corner of my eye, it looked like one of the little girls in the ball pit, she was just a baby really, pulled up on Sissy on the arm, and Sissy started crying. And she was just really crying hard. And I'm like, it's okay. She was just trying to get up, she's just a baby. And I get her out and I comfort her, take care of her. Well, later on I found out that the little girl had bit a plug out of her. But I explained to her that the little girl is just a baby. She's little, and she doesn't understand you're not supposed to bite, and you're supposed to be nice to one another and help one another. And so Sissy, she finally was satisfied and understood that the little girl wasn't trying to hurt her. But we were in this room, this dark room. It's like a glow room, and it's got a black light, and anything that's white glows, on your clothes and all that. Well, this ball pit has all these white balls in it, and there was probably about 5 or 6 kids in there, and Sissy was in the middle of them, and then Bubba came and got in them, and all the kids are in there, and they're just playing, and they're having a good time. And inside that ball pit, there were kids of several different races, precious little kids. And I noticed that inside that ball pit, you could not see what color those children were. All you could see was the light from the balls in the pit. That's all you could see. And you couldn't tell their color. All you knew was they were in there, they were having fun, they were playing. And I thought, at that moment, isn't that how we're supposed to be? No matter who we are, what we look like, where we came from, we're just supposed to shine the light of Jesus in our home, in our family, in our relationships, to be a light And if we'll do that, it won't matter where we came from. It won't matter who we are. All that will matter is that we have that light. And that's how God wants us to be. And you know, as our kids are struggling to know who they are, let's not forget, no matter who they are, that Jesus loves them and He wants what's best for their lives. And His ground is even. He loves them the same no matter who they are, no matter what struggle they're in, no matter where they're struggling in their identity. He loves them the same as if He loves any of us. And He wants us to love people in that same way. And as a mama, as a grandmother, I have so much love for my children and my grandchildren. But all the love that I can muster doesn't even scratch the surface of His love for them and for us. And I just want to encourage you today to begin early, speaking into your kids' lives. Start telling them who they are. Build up who they are. Look where they're strong and build up that strength. Look where they're weak and help them to strengthen. Begin speaking as a child, as a toddler, as an infant into their lives. And look around at these children. They can teach you so much about getting along, about loving one another, about what life is about. If you'll just look at them and watch them, the precious, precious kids. They're amazing. And just open your eyes to your kids. Look at them. I don't care if they're 6 months or they're 56. It doesn't matter. They're still precious, precious kids that God has put in your life. And even when they're grown, you don't quit directing them and helping them find out who they are. You don't quit trying to encourage them, trying to lead them in the right direction. You don't quit holding their hand and helping them up to the next place they have to go. You know, later on in the day, I got so tickled. We, of course, after the play place, McDonald's. And so we go to McDonald's. Of course, we're playing there too. And the kids are having a good time. Both Bubba and Sissy are now potty trained. Thank you, Father. But they get to playing, and sometimes accidents happen. So we were getting ready to go. We were fixing to go, and Sissy says to me, I got to go to the bathroom. And I said, okay, let's put your shoes on. Let's go. So, of course, you have to wrangle both of them, you know. And so I'm bringing them both in the bathroom. Well, it was too late. It was too late. And it was a poopy mess. It was everywhere. And I had left their bag in the car because I thought, okay, they're doing good. They're not having any problems. So I left their bag in the car. And we've got poopy everywhere. And so I'm trying to clean her up enough to get out to the car. And, you know, I started thinking about when I was a young mother, this would have been something that probably would have just frustrated me to no end. I probably would have just been so upset. You know, I might even got mad at my child for not telling me soon enough, whatever. But I'm sitting here and I'm dealing with the situation as best I can, getting her britches up and trying to get her out to the car. Well, it's 150 degrees in the car. So I got to get the kids through the parking lot, into the car. Sweat's pouring down me, you know. She's covered in poop. It's down her legs. It's everywhere. So I have to grab the bag out. And she does not want me to put her down in the seat and clean her up. She is just adamant. She wants me to hold her. And So she's crying and she's screaming, and I just wondered what people thought, you know. And so I'm sitting there pulling out the wipes and saying, I got to get your britches off. She didn't want to take her britches off. So finally I get her britches off, and that makes poop go all the way down her, on my seat, my driver's seat, all over me, all over her. And so I'm sitting here holding her with one hand, taking the wipes with the other hand, trying to clean her up. And most people, I think a lot of mamas, young moms, would be so frustrated by that. But it hit me at that moment, and I just began to laugh. And I was just laughing as I'm doing this. I'm laughing and I'm laughing. And Sissy's just like, what is wrong with my mama? But she says, are you mad at me? And I said, oh, no, baby, I'm not mad at you. But I was cleaning her up and finally got her with some clean underwear and in the car seat as sweat pours down me and poop is all over the place. And, you know, I thought about our lives, and sometimes our lives with our children. Sometimes they're just overwhelming, all the poop out there, all the poop that can get covered, they can get covered in. You know, but even when they're all covered in poop, even when poop is everywhere, we don't stop loving them. Even if they've made the wrong choices, the wrong decisions of who they are, of what they're going to do with their life, if they've been wrong, even if they've screwed up, we don't stop loving them. We don't stop. You know, this world is telling these kids to cut their parents off from their lives. And their parents are ready. They're ready to take on anything that they can throw at them. They're ready to help clean them up. They're ready to do it. They're willing. They're waiting with open arms. They just want to love and help their child. So if you're a child out there that you are covered in poop today, you're covered in the poop of this world and the mess of this world and the mistakes of this world, turn back. Turn back. Turn back to your parents and turn back to your God. He is ready and willing to take you like you are and to clean you up. And he spoke to me during that time. And, you know, as I laughed, it was because I was thinking, oh, Father, how many times have you done this for me? How many times have you cleaned me up when I made mistakes, when I made messes? And you loved me, and you didn't get mad at me, but you understood. And He understands you today. If you're in the middle of a mess, if you're in the middle of trouble, if you're struggling, if you're hurting, He's ready. He's ready. Call on Him. So this is for all you out there who may be struggling, who may be hurting, or you have children that are. Stay ready, stand ready, and watch the Father bring them home. And in their mess, be ready for whatever happens. And I know you will be. I know you're probably just like me, just waiting with love, with concern, with compassion. Don't give up. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep on. I love you today. I love you. And your Father loves you. Don't forget this. This is to you, you mamas. I love you. God bless you. Until next time, this is Jill, Wonder Woman. God bless.